So the vlog that you're about to watch was filmed 5 months ago. And just for clarification, this was the first PA job that I took when I started freelancing. But basically, this was me PAing for a short film that someone was doing as a passion project. It was a paid project, but I basically broke even. What's cool about this vlog, as opposed to my other vlogs, is that because this was 5 months ago, I can subsequently tell you whether my idea and my thinking for doing what I did was correct.
I rented the 25 to 75, I think.
So this whole short film was shot on his Canon C70, I believe that's what that was. And then he ordered some cine glass, some variable zoom cine glasses, which was cool. But on day one, when they were doing the read through, I got to basically play with the Easy Rig, play with the camera, all of that. I had never used an Easy Rig before, so it was kind of cool to like just try that on or whatever. So I won't be shooting the rest of the time that I'm here. I am just simply a PA helping, but he knew that I had a little bit of experience on the camera, and then also helped him to nail the lines with his actor and actress, as well as seeing what the shot would look like. But if he wanted to focus on one or the other, he could do that while I was helping him out. So right here, he's using my phone. I have the Artemis app. I've talked about this before. It just lets you kind of emulate what a certain camera with a certain lens might look like. But this was really good for trying to figure out what the staging would look like, especially because this apartment pool was kind of like more guerrilla filming that we would be doing tomorrow. So coming out here with just a phone and looking a little more inconspicuous would help us go into tomorrow without raising any red flags.
So I've never done this before. I don't know where to begin.
Annie, come on, Annie. Annie, are you okay? God damn it, Annie.
That's pretty much a wrap on day 0. Eric's just finishing up the last touches for what he thinks the lighting will be tomorrow. That's Jake right there. He's the gaffer for this shoot. And yeah, on to day 2 where production actually begins. And then we got kicked out from using the pool. So that wasn't going to stop us. We just went back inside, continued on doing what we were doing. And the plus side to that is we did get done with the day a little early, and it gave us more time to focus on some of the scenes that we actually had to do some lighting for.
Okay. So we'll do a ground run for sound.
So this is a cool little trick I learned. That piece of wood up there has a baby pin on there, and I can't remember what he called it exactly, but I think it's just a pancake, like apple box with the baby pin screwed into it. And it allows him for, obviously, as you can see, to place that up there on a flat surface. And instead of having to use this overhead lighting coming from the nasty orange light bulb in the closet, he was able to put his 120D up there with the Fresnel and just control the lighting in there a lot better. So me and Jake were definitely the greenest guys on this crew, but the sound guy, Rob, was somebody who had been pretty versed in what he does and what he is doing. And so it was actually kind of cool to like talk to him about, you know, everything he's done, all of his gear. And you can see the bag off to the right that he has his little mixer in. It was a crazy little setup he had. I mean, he had an answer for everything. Adapters. He had the iPad that was controlling like his audio levels. He obviously had his headphones. It's really cool to like just see how people work within their craft, especially when they do it pretty often. Another thing for me is this was the first time being on set with a lot of controlled lighting happening, and so like Eric is really talented when it comes to controlling his lighting. This is what he calls a meat hook, this lighting setup that you can see on the right, and basically it's a book light that is being cut at the bottom with a cutter, so it's kind of just top lighting softly without lighting up the bottom. So as you can see, there's like this white stool, so it doesn't overexpose the stool, but it exposes his subject, which is you know, the guy sitting in the stool. And then he kind of just did a book light for exposing Gladys as she was standing there at the table on the 180. And that pretty much wraps up day 2, our first day of production. Everything here at the apartment is complete, fully shot. And tomorrow, our first location will be the library, and then the second location will be going to the Airbnb.
Let's bring in the X as well too, and then what I was telling him, we can get the silver white reflector, and we'll just tape it here. We'll bounce it.
Okay.
Because this is the
big sheet.
Yeah, this is the picture right here.
So this was easily my favorite location, a very cool location. It's like this little hideaway library, but it is stacked from floor to ceiling with books, as you can tell. It looks so cool in camera. It has so much texture, so much just like grit to it. So a lot of the lighting here was just kind of like bouncing stuff off. As you can see, he kind of would just hang this tarp up, and then again, same thing as before, kind of book lighting it almost in a way, just shooting it off of that and letting the bounce just kind of be what lights the subject up. For some of these shots, like with this backlight here that we wanted to cover, we would just use these floppies and just kind of cut that light down and just create a little bit more drama when we needed it to. Eric really kind of seems to love to do like the bounce lights. Just because I think it's just easy. It creates soft and nice clean lighting, and again in here where there wasn't a ton of room, it was kind of a pain in the butt to get things in and out. I think it was kind of the best call. And that was a wrap on this location, so we basically just had to break it all down, get it packed up, and then head out to what would be the final location for this short film. This ain't gonna light itself, dude.
I'm taking my time. And then your eye line will still be on where she's at right here. There you go. Try to do is kind of make the symmetry identical from each side, right? So we'll have here measure, because we can do that because they're not moving, they're the same spot. So whenever I move, I want it to be the same distance.
Gotcha.
So same thing, and then also here, same thing. Measure, and we can do that before we move it.
Yeah.
So that way it cuts nicely.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So something I never thought of until Eric was explaining that to me is basically what he was doing was measuring from his camera to the subject that he was filming, from the center of his camera, and then he was flipping the world and doing the same exact thing. And so I'd never thought of that before, but basically whenever he's cutting back and forth, it doesn't seem jarring. Someone's not more compressed in the background than the other. It's just a really cool little thing I had never thought of to do before, but definitely something I'm going to take into consideration whenever I'm doing stuff like this myself. As far as the lighting goes for this scene, it was actually pretty easy. It was two 600s pointed directly at our subjects, shooting through the diffusing cloth and the curtains itself. And as far as clean lighting goes and everything, this location was definitely the cleanest for sure.
Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. That's it. Awesome. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So now the question is, was doing this for free beneficial to me and my career? In this case, it was correct. Doing this job and breaking even here ended up me making a good amount of money working with the same guy on a higher paid gig. It also has led to more opportunity with people that I met on set, and it gave me the opportunity to work under somebody who is always busy. And because of that, and the relationship I made with the director, I have gained a couple jobs from him, and I believe I'll gain a couple more jobs through 2024 as well.